And we get going here.
Skim Bow, all-time leading money winner, most Madden bank at 281,000 large into this week. Up against a guy with nothing to lose here. Z-Thumbs, his first EA major appearance, failed to qualify last year, finished 449th the year before.
After a fairly non-eventful first half, Skim Bow makes a mistake to give his opponent, the Dolphin Z-Thumbs, an opening.
Luck about to get hit, gets rid of it. Oh, he got it! He got it to Hester! Touchdown, Z-Thumbs!
And Z-Thumbs had him wide open to start that play, but he waited too long. Skim Bow should have picked that ball off, and it should have went the other way for 6.
And after a quick answer by Skim Bow to retake the lead on the first possession of the second half,
Skim Bow is on top.
Skim Bow gets burned by Deion Sanders.
Deion Sanders with some wiggle. Deion Sanders! Deion Sanders! And Z-Thumbs will take him to the 15-10-5. Bye-bye!
Deion, baby!
What a fleeting moment of joy for Skim Bow. It lasted, what, 20 seconds? And with nothing open yet, he will let it fly for Hester! Hester! Touchdown!
Let's go. Hey, put a call timeout.
No more free touchdowns. No more free touchdowns.
Skim Bow would hang on late and advance into the conference quarterfinals later on day 1.
Pass rush can't get there. Ball in the air. It's picked. It's Deion, and it's ball game.
How concerned did you get in the middle of that game? Because there were a few moments, we saw you under your breath whispering a few things.
Yeah, of course I got a little nervous. I mean, but here's the thing, I always tell people man, you came up with a bunch of stuff this year. And I said, it doesn't matter if you don't win.
Skim Bow was one of several heavy hitters who qualified for AFC teams and advanced through the first round. Two-time belt winner Drainie was another, as was Joke, who, like Drainie, won both of his matches on day 1 to secure a spot in the final 8.
So here comes a 51-yarder. Ice, ice, baby. He'll kick it. It's up, and it is good. And Joke is moving on.
Awaiting him was the winner of Skim Bow's match with Stevie J, representing the Buffalo Bills.
Harrison, part of that bunch. He's the X going out wider now to the left.
Looks like he's going to have the post.
Drills it in there. Touchdown, Skim Bow.
Once again, Skim Bow found himself in a close game. But this time, 4 quarters wouldn't settle it.
30, 20, 10. This thing's going to be tied. Remember, we're playing the regular NFL overtime rule, so if Skim Bow can march on down and get this thing in the end zone, that's game, set, match.
He caught him on his D tackle. He's not going to get any pressure here.
Which means
He's
it's
got
air
him.
it out. Does he have Hester? He does!
Let's go!
Down near the 5-yard line. He's got a Patriots kicker. He's got Steven Gostkowski. And this is to move on and face Joke. No joke. Skim Bow wins it.
And perhaps the most feared competitor in the whole field of 32, defending champion Pavan, representing the Raiders, made easy work of Turbo Jeff.
It is Pollard. It is in there. It is a touchdown.
Walk up one time. Come on.
And then young Tony's Chiefs.
Pavan's going the other way. Can Gresham make a play? Wave goodbye. Griffin's to the end zone. Pavan, a defensive touchdown.
Huge pick 6 by Pavan right there with that Shaq Griffin. Nice lurk over the middle. And what a way to start the game on defense for Pavan.
On day 2, all eyes would be on 16-year-old Henry, who finished second in the first major of the year. He'd have his work cut out for him battling through the NFC East, trying to secure a spot in the final 8. The gauntlet to select a Madden representative for each of the 32 clubs in the National Football League has seen its share of exaltation and disappointment. For those who made it from the NFC, the intensity of the winner-go-home format has been cranked up.
The preparation, everything I went through, that's all I wanted is a chance.
From here, there's no room for error. Only one player from each division can advance. The NFC North group is talented, but by most accounts, very wide open. The NFC East squad features one of the rising stars of the Madden competitive scene. Meanwhile, the NFC South has personality and experience, but each of these players is just a rookie in this Madden major. And in the NFC West, expectations are rising for a division some believe just might provide this year's club champion. Just ask them. It's the NFC Divisional Semifinals at the Madden NFL 20 Club Championship, presented by Snickers. The goal is to get out of the NFC, but all eyes are on the championship belt and one another.
Day 2 of the Club Championship belonged to the 16 NFC teams. All eyes were on rising star and Eagles Club champion Henry. At just 16 years old, Henry burst onto the scene earlier this fall when he made it all the way through the field in the Madden Classic, eventually losing in the championship game. While the AFC is stacked with Madden talent, Henry has a path to the championship. But first, he must get past Evil O, the New York Giants club champ.
Another handoff, Brady to Dickerson, and he fights his way free. Eric Dickerson, touchdown!
And that's why he's the best running back in the game. Just fights off that linebacker.
With the clock ticking down at the end of the first half, he was on the cusp of tying it up.
With 15 seconds left in the half, Luck, end zone, picked by Bullock.
That might be for 6.
Keith Bullock, the former Titan, will take it and zigzag and get dragged down with 7 seconds on the clock. So you're going to end up pitching a shutout of Henry here through 2 quarters.
With 7 seconds left on the clock, Evil O swept Eric Dickerson to the left side, and a couple of huge moves to go, nearly 70 yards for a gut punch TD. Down 2 scores at the half, things looked bleak.
And ED looking for the TD. There goes Dickerson. Touchdown. Oh.
In the second half, Henry came roaring back.
It's picked off.
Oh, you terrible.
You called it. And well, what a turn as Jackson brings it. To the 10, to the 5, he's in.
With time left on the clock, Henry had to come up with a big stop to stay in it. Evil O got himself in range for a long field goal as time ran down, but the ball fell short. Overtime.
You know, he had no chance of making that, and Henry's going to get the ball first in overtime.
Henry got the ball, drove down the field, and came up with a TD to move on.
Trying to end it if he can get in the end zone.
Got him.
Diving catch, he did it. Oh, Henry.
That was probably the worst games I've played in my life. I did so much dumb stuff. Honestly, I probably should have lost. He passed and pick 6 that really helped me because I couldn't score in the end zone. I was struggling in the end zone bad, but literally just the worst game of my life. It's nothing I can say. Just got to play better. Can't play that bad ever again.
From one of the youngest players in the tournament to the oldest, Carolina Panthers club champion One Great User. User was up against another talkative player, Saints champ and college freshman Nick Hacko.
Chris Johnson, the speedster, and Hacko's back on top.
Get out!
Down big early, One Great User did the unthinkable.
And it's a fake.
What is this?
Chris Johnson makes a guy miss. And it's going to be new life for One Great User.
And when that wasn't enough, he did it again.
And it's another fake.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
and
boy,
this time it doesn't work.
not again.
Meanwhile, another young college student, Bucks Club champion Civil, went head-to-head in the first round against One Great User's good friend, 32-year-old Falcons Club champ and Madden legend Boogs.
We've got a great game between Boogs and Civil. This one back and forth. It started out with Tyreek Hill in a crib shot.
Yeah, this was some filthy stick work by Civil to go up 7-0 with that Tyreek Hill, man. That was nasty. And we've had a battle so far, back and forth. Low-scoring game. I thought it'd be a little more high-scoring than it is.
Civil and Hacko took down Boogs and One Great User. In the second round, they went head-to-head. Hacko closed out a hard-fought win to punch his ticket to day 3.
Here comes Civil. Swings it outside, and it's picked off. Ryan Shazier. Oh, and he's still running.
Meanwhile, the one player with the most unique approach to roster construction, Arizona Cardinals club champ Volterax, stifled his opponents with a historically loaded defense to grind his way to a spot in the final 8.
Lamar, left side. It's got a little bit of room. User's back there, but too much defense from Voltrax, and he will move on. Your Arizona club champion with a dominant defensive performance, 10-3.
In the NFC North, Bay Area local and veteran Madden competitor Skim fought his way out of the NFC North with a big win over Lions champ Radiant and a last-second clutch field goal against Vikings champ Phenom.
The kick is up. And just sneaks in on the right side. Skeeman has won it with a 48-yard field goal.
Back in the NFC East, the tournament's only UK-based player, Tekkers, had an impressive first round. He cruised through 41-14 to set up a head-to-head with Henry. Tekkers made the most of the opportunity, scoring twice quickly to go up 10-0 early.
He got him, he got him, he got him! Dragging those toes, it's a touchdown!
Henry managed to make his way back into the game with a TD right before the half.
Throwing on the run, open is Hester! End zone is Hester! Touchdown, Henry!
But it was all Tekkers from there on out, earning the respect of his fellow players and a spot in the final 8.
Amazing stuff, man. Congratulations on the win, and obviously a lot would consider this an upset. How did you kind of go into this matchup, preparing for it and just kind of getting yourself ready?
Know how good Henry is on offense. You can't give him many possessions at all. So just, yeah, kept confident, controlled the game. I knew if I got a first stop and controlled the game, I'd be in with a chance.
After 24 matches in 2 days, some truly wild plays and a handful of big upsets, the final 8 is locked in. The competition only gets stronger, with everyone hungry for the chance at the belt and $100,000.
After 2 days of competition whittled the playing field from 32 to 8. Some of the best competitors remained on day 3, especially on the AFC side, led by Skim Bow, whose overtime win Tuesday against Stevie J propelled them to the conference semifinals. Ahead of him was a matchup with Joke, who made easy work of both Thunderball and Free the Penguins. Skim Bow and Joke do have a history, and between them, 20 major appearances, which sets up an intriguing matchup for a spot in the conference finals.
I just kept telling my friends, like, I literally don't know how I possibly lose this tournament. So I've been playing all the best people in the world. We had 8 out of the 32 of the final competitors in this tournament. And I'm probably like, in the last 30 games against them, I'm probably like 29-1. Like, people got to the point where they're like, no, we're not playing your offense. We don't want to play against that. No one else is running that. So it got to the point where my own friends wouldn't want to play me. This is by far the most confident I've ever been in Madden, and it's definitely showing.
Some of the defense for Skim Bow. And Skim Bow, I feel as if every tournament he enters and he says he's not playing at his best, but, you know, even 80% Skim Bow is one of the best players in the world. What are you seeing from his lead up into his match against Joke?
I'm seeing 2 guys that have been on a collision course. You got to remember, Joke has never won an MCS belt, and the closest he ever came was into the Madden Classic 2 years ago, where Skim Bow was the one that knocked him out in that championship game. And Skim Bow, this is the tournament that he's never won. This gives the most amount of money, and it's the one he's been wanting to go after. So a lot of implications for both of these guys. They're both hungry for it. And one little thing is, if Skim Bow was to win this game, it would put him over the $300,000 mark in career earnings. He would be the first ever to do that within the MCS.
Can Skim Bow continue his chase for the MCS Grand Slam?
After an opening quarter field goal from Skim Bow and back-to-back turnovers by both players, Joke took over possession and drove down the field with quarterback Lamar Jackson.
Jackson squeezes his way through, and he will work his way all the way down to the 15 as he goes over 100 yards here in the half.
And now Joke already in the red zone, looking to take the lead with a touchdown.
And that's another big hit. At what point do you start thinking about using your timeouts if you're Skim?
Yeah, Joke, he's just, I don't know why he's snapping the ball so quick right there. The last thing Skim Bow wants him to do is milk the clock and rest his Lamar, and Joke's doing the opposite. He's coming out here quick hiking.
Skim does use a timeout. Now he's looking for the edge, and Lamar will get in there for Joke. First touchdown of the game.
Skim Bow has some time before end of half, and he uses 2 former Colt legends to take him deep into Joke territory.
Luck will get some space to the outside, and there's that throw. And Marvin Harrison, the legend from Syracuse, will haul it in.
When it comes to competitive Madden, Michael Skim Bow has been and is the man.
And he'll throw it to the sideline. And Marvin Harrison all of a sudden is unguardable. Logan is just not the running back to get it done. So he'll go to the air. Luck, quick wheel route, and Skim Bow retakes the lead.
On Skim Bow's opening possession of the third quarter, he burns more than 3.5 minutes of the clock, but winds up only with a field goal, keeping it a 1-possession game for Joke and Lamar Jackson, who have possession as we enter the fourth quarter.
3rd and 3. Picks up the first down and more. And Denzel Ward chases him down from behind.
Once again, in a $20,000 game of Madden, chasing that belt with the #1 player standing right in front of him.
It's going to be a 1st and goal from the 7-yard line.
Come on! Come on! That's a huge sack for Joke on 1st down. It's going to make things that much tougher for Skim. And remember, Scott, he only has the 2 timeouts to Skim, so he's pretty much all in right here on this drive.
And Luck.
Fumble, one time!
He's living on a prayer with that run. Lucky to hold on to it at the 30. Here comes a 3rd and 9.
This is intense, Scott.
These guys have beat each other each one game. And that one comes loose, and here's 4th in the game.
That is a huge play right there from Rydell Brito.
Joke has never won a belt. Skim Bow has never won a club championship, and it comes down to this very moment.
This is such a big play.
Needs 9. Luck looking. Throws it late.
Let's go! Let's go! Go ahead and celebrate, Joke. You deserve it. You've fought so hard to get here. That was a hard-fought battle.
How long have you really wanted this bow?
I mean, since I started playing the MTS circuit since Madden 17.
Man.
Made the first classic, didn't make out of groups. I think I've made 10 of these and I haven't won one yet. I've been telling all my friends as soon as I switch to no one's playbook, how am I going to lose this tournament? No one's been able to stop it. I had a good feeling of what he was going to do.
Yeah.
I knew I was just going to run at his enforcer because if he usered him, my left guard would pick him up.
Right.
I knew he wouldn't know that. So that's how after the first drive, I started running wild with Lamar. The first drive, I kind of was just filling him out, got stopped. Then I made some few.
Over in the NFC, the Redskins Techers representing UK takes on Skeeman and the Packers. Both players use Deion Sanders under the salary cap rules, and the Hall of Fame defensive back plays a big role in the 2 key plays.
Lamar Jackson back. Getting the block, letting it fly. It is picked off.
That's it.
Oh, Deion Sanders. Safety.
Oh, my. There's no...
And then Skeeman takes advantage of Sanders early in the 3rd quarter.
Looks like he's going to put that post out there as a decoy, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him throw the hitch. And he does.
And it's picked. It's Deion Sanders. With the ball in his right hand, Deion's on the move.
You're not going to catch Deion.
Neon Deion on his way. Touchdown, Skeeman.
Come on, man. Come on.
Skeeman would never look back.
A win like this mean for you? I mean, in the grander scheme of your life as Skeeman, or not the player, but the person, what does something like this mean?
It's kind of life-changing. I mean, it's getting to the point where it's really, you know, a big step in my financial life, just life period. Man, I've been through a lot, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So taking advantage of this opportunity right now is just, it's everything.
Skeeman will take on Voltrax in the conference finals Friday. He defeated Nick Hacko representing the Saints 17-0. But all eyes were on 2 of the biggest names in MCS, Drainie and Pavan, who battled for the final spot in the conference finals.
We're talking about Pavan maybe chasing back-to-back club championship title, and then Drainie chasing down Skim Bow.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, Pavan, people forget he's trying to repeat. He won this tournament last year, and then Drainie already has 2 belts. So if he made a run in this tournament and won it, he would be tied with Michael Skim Bow, both having 3 belts. A lot of implications for these guys, a lot of money, Madden ball glory. That's what it's all about.
You love the Madden tradition. I love the NFL and Madden tradition coming together, and especially for someone like Pavan, who's a huge Raiders fan. Huge. To have the opportunity to represent his club again and maybe repeat, that's what makes this tournament so special.
You know, and this is kind of his tournament, really. You know, he's kind of taking this tournament over. You know, we're going to have to start considering him a favorite every time he enters this tournament if he's able to win this game versus Drainie. And on the other side of that, Drainie's won 3 clubs. But if you asked him, this would probably be his worst tournament out of all of them. You know, he's dominated in all the other tournaments, winning 3 clubs, but never making that deep run in the club championship.
Let's go ahead and kick it off here from Pizza Hut Stadium. Drainie and Pavan. Who's going to face Joke in the AFC Championship? Pavan will get it first, and he's going to start the drive at the 23-yard line.
Drainie's pass defense is stacked. Going to make that much harder for Pavan to get in this gun bunch and slang the rock around.
Here's
Got him.
Andrew Luck, throws it to the corner, and Pavan, he goes on top first.
And Pavan always has a little bit of a wrinkle to this offense that we don't see from most players.
He'd probably pick up the first down before he gets some field goal range. Rivers fires, and
This ain't Madden 19, bro. Stop highballing it.
comes a fourth down.
And Drainie, he's going to have to get some time for him. He was clearly uncomfortable versus the pressure right there. His receiver was wide open, went to the high ball for no reason. But look for this left seam.
And a little comeback route. Hooked down at the 25.
That's a good play right there from Drainie.
If you're Pavan, you got to sell out for the run right here. Drainie's just deciding which side he's going to run it to. Stretch left here is wide open.
Eric Dickerson will dot it.
Look at Pavan shifting his line with him.
And Dickerson will walk his way in for Drainie, and we should have a tie ball game.
The game went to half tied at 7. Drainie took the first possession of the third quarter.
But we got a good game here. 2nd and 10 for Drainie. Saw some fireworks in the first couple minutes of that first half of back-to-back touchdowns. And now Eric Dickerson. I don't think they're going to catch him. The Pony Express is loose, and Drainie takes the lead.
And I love what Pavan does. He comes out in goal line, so you can't set up that 3-4 odd defense and plug the gap. He makes you come out in goal line right with them.
Hands it off, and Pollard will punch his way in.
Two of the best players we've seen in the last several years in the MCS, and they're putting it on full display right now as to why.
Hands it off to Dickerson. Does Shazier have the angle? No! And Drainie once again. Wait for it, wait for it. Takes the lead.
Scott, I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. That's how you get on your horse.
Pavan needs a touchdown to even the score, but finds himself in trouble on 3rd down.
You cannot take a sack here if you're Pavan. Your read's got to be sharp. He's
Here comes
coming.
the heat.
Denzel Ward.
Tries to get outside and he can't.
Great mix-up by Drainie right there. We've seen him send a lot of 4-man blitzes. Right there, he sends all the pressure. Great mix-up by Drainie.
Luck. You're on 4th and 11. Pavan is going to try to use his legs. No, sir. Drainie will get the ball back.
Drainie's so confident in his defense. Even if he's at 4th and 3, I really wouldn't be surprised to see him punt away this ball, making it really difficult on Pavan.
Rivers swings it outside. He'll pick up the first down with Hester. And smartly laid down at the 20. And that should take us to the 2-minute warning. Well, this is a big field goal. And he does get it accurate, but it means it can't be blocked. And it's up and it's good. And the lead is now 10 for Drainie.
Via Complexity Gaming, how satisfied are you with signing this guy, Drainie Joker? He's already won you a belt. He's making a run in the club championship. He represented the Cowboys last year, and now his quest for his 3rd belt continues. This kid epitomizes Madden dominance.
And, you know, for me, when Madden comes out, he's my pick to be the best player every single year, just because how well he's able to adapt to the game. He's a really good runner, but no matter how hard it is to pass or how hard it is to run, he's always going to play some of the best defense in the world.
You know, every time I'm in a situation where I need a score, Eric Dickerson comes through, and yeah.
If only we could all have Eric Dickerson on our lives. We really need something to be, fast or just get to the place we need it to. Eric Dickerson shows up. That'd be a funny app if you could do it.
Honestly, I had 2 options between the running backs, was Chris Johnson or Eric Dickerson, and Chris Johnson doesn't fall forward,
right?
And where when Eric Dickerson gets stopped, he can go fall forward for like 2 or 3 yards, so it really doesn't hurt me that bad. So Eric Dickerson really is the man.
Well, let's take a look on the wall at that big Eric Dickerson play that puts you into command of this game here, 14-14 tied up. Break it down.
Yeah, right here, he's using the left safety. So after I knew that, if he went inside just a step, I'm taking to the outside, and he took a step inside, and Eric Dickerson just went on to the races, and he just outran everyone with the 95 speed.
For 3 days, 32 competitors battled through a difficult bracket. And now we sit at the Final Four, the conference finals, with a ticket to the club championship final and a chance at $100,000. The 16 AFC teams had some of today's biggest Madden stars, and 2 of the biggest, Skim Bow, the all-time leader in Madden championship belts, and Pavan, the defending club champion, both fell on Thursday. It set up a matchup between 2 players seeking something they've long desired. For Drainie, it's a chance to tie Skim Bow with his 3rd MCS belt. For Joke,
It's the opportunity in his 9th major to win his first belt. The winner will be one step closer.
My goal every single tournament I come into is just winning. For me, it's always been belt or bust. It's not how much money I win or how much money I can win. I want to win a belt. I haven't won one, so hopefully this is the one and I finally get what I've been chasing for basically my whole life.
Well, right now, Skim Bow has 3 belts and I'm at 2. So, to tie it up, and he's been competing 4 or 5 years, and then this is my 3rd year. So if I could tie him in belts in less year span, that'd mean a lot to me, and I feel like that'd be super impressive.
So here's what's remaining and at stake prize pool-wise. Of our 4 competitors, they have already secured $40,000 for making it to the conference finals at the club. But tonight, each of those conference finals is worth a nifty $35,000. The club final is worth $25,000, which means the winner of the final will have pocketed $100,000 for the entire club championship.
All right, let's take a closer look at some of the numbers involved in this matchup, and it's really 2 players bringing with them very strong defenses. It's the number 2 and number 3 defenses going head-to-head. Drainie allowing 111 yards per game. Joke just 115. So on paper, Mo, you would think this is going to be a very low-scoring affair. How do you think this matchup plays out?
And I think that's exactly how it's going to play out. Which one of those defenses is going to be able to force a turnover, though? That's what I think the key to the game is. Everybody can play great defense, but can your defense go get the football? And I think that's what's going to have to take place for one of these players. They're going to have to force a turnover and kind of just control the clock. And I would look for whoever turns the ball over first. They're going to have a hard time in this game.
RG?
There was a few things that jumped out at me. First, for Joke, it's the 3 secure tacklers on defense. We know Drainie has Eric Dickerson with no abilities, and that's who he wants to get the ball. So those secure tacklers are going to have to come up big for Joke. Remember, they allow you to match tackle from a further distance with that A button. That's a big deal. For Drainie, I don't think we've seen a more balanced team in this entire tournament. He's got 3 mediocre receivers, a quarterback with hot route master, one of the top 2 running backs in the game, and then on defense, 2 elite safeties, 4 serviceable secondary players, and 2 good linebackers for his $146. Extreme balance on Drainie's end. I think he built one of the best teams in the entire tournament.
Really, both the guys listening in over here, they call us the experts, but trust me, they know a whole lot more, except for Mo. They know a whole lot more than we do over here. And, some interesting things for Drainie on defense, but nothing has stopped Joke anyway. So maybe we're going to find out if speed is actually the answer.
I step away. Mo, we both step away. And I tell you what, it's time to play a little Madden, a power matchup in the AFC. Can Drainie continue his march towards a record-tying 3rd belt, or will Joke defeat another MCS belt winner, move on, and finally break through? RG, Scott Cole, I cede the floor to you.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Mo. We're just a game away from crowning a Madden NFL 20 club champion. And Drainie 4-0. In these situations, he's won 2 belts. That's 2 more than Joke.
Yeah, and Drainie trying to establish himself as potentially the most dominant player we have ever seen in the FCS era. If he would be able to win this tournament, he would become #1 in career earnings, and he would be tied with Skim Bow for the most career belts, despite only being eligible to compete in Madden 18. It's one of the craziest stories I've ever seen in Madden with this kid.
Joke's looking to add to his resume. His 3rd EA Major Final 4 appearance. From West New York, New Jersey, he's putting it on the map.
Yeah, Redel Brito, and this is such a big moment for Joke. When he says this is more about the belt than the money, he truly means it. He has devoted his full profession to playing Madden full-time. He's done everything there is to do besides win a championship, and now here he is, 2 wins away from accomplishing the ultimate goal. You know he's going to leave it all out there on the line.
Drainie opens up the first possession of the game much in the way he ended yesterday, with his workhorse, Eric Dickerson.
Dickerson!
Touchdown, baby!
1 man to beat!
Let's go, baby.
And he'll turn the corner and get tripped up at the 12.
Oh, his corner got stuck.
And Dickerson will walk in. Touchdown, Drainie.
Come on, man.
That was an easy play call for Drainie. Joke left the right side of that field wide open. He tried to base the line at the last second. His cornerback got stuck on his linebacker. Drainie goes to the right side. Easy touchdown. And now this is what we've all been waiting for, Scott. How will Drainie's defense stack up against this New Orleans offense that Joke has been dominant with all tournament long?
With Drainie up 7-0, Joke is faced with a 4th down on his first possession. Giving the ball up in his own territory could prove devastating.
On 4th and 1.
And hit right at the marker, but he will get the first down.
But a couple plays later, Drainie's defense steps up.
Pick me on!
3rd and 9, he throws it into coverage, and it's picked off by Dion.
He comes through time and time again, making the adjustments he needs to make, making the plays he needs to make.
But quickly, Drainie is faced with a 4th down decision of his own.
Phillip Rivers will throw that one right to White, and it's a user pick.
Let him score, man.
And he might take this to the cribbo. Can Dickerson get there? He will, and forces him out at the 7-yard line, but Joke is in business.
That's huge if you Joke the Yick 6, almost a Yick 6, but if you're Drainie, you make the tackle. Now you have a chance to hold the door.
So Lamar carried ahead for 2, but now here's a 4th and goal. He's gonna get his boot out.
Under 2 minutes to go, Drainie puts an exclamation point to a dominant first half.
Dickerson, right up the gut. Dion won't catch him, and Drainie on the board twice.
Joke tacked on a half-inning field goal to cut Drainie's lead to 8, and he had the first possession heading into the 3rd quarter. And he wasted no time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson.
And this second half right here is going to dictate who it's going to be.
Lamar runs past 2 and then just runs away with it. That's the way you start the second half. Here comes the 3rd and 5.
Interested to see what Drainie does here. There is a chance he goes to the air with this hot route master, Phillip Rivers.
Rivers fires to the edge, and it's Marvin Harrison. That'll beat Denzel Ward to the football, and it's a 1st down.
And this is the balanced attack we told you about with Drainie. You think it's going to be all Eric Dickerson. He has other weapons, and he knows when to use them.
Right now, he's got some blocks to the outside. Will Bullock catch him? No, sir. Drainie once again. It's a hat trick. 3 touchdowns for the man that wears the goggles, Eric Dickerson.
Now with this extra point, Drainie's going to make it an 8-point ball game. Fortunate for Joke, all he needs is the touchdown and the 2-point to tie it. He's going to have to respond.
Late in the 3rd quarter, Joke is again faced with a 4th down in his own territory.
Lamar and Joke here on 4th and 8.
Play clock's winding down. You got to hurry up if you Joke.
Looking with Lamar. Throws to the outside, a one-handed grab.
As the 4th quarter begins, Joke uses Lamar Jackson's arm.
Joke finds the tender spaces.
And then his legs.
Lamar, straight up the middle, untouched.
And again, Joke does not go for 2. With under 5 minutes to play, he's now down by 1. And he puts his faith in his defense, who steps up by forcing a 4th down on Drainie's ensuing possession.
Rivers needs 2. Throws it, has a man, and Hester makes a big play across the midfield at the 43.
After Joke burns his timeouts, it brings up a crucial 3rd down. A 1st down by Drainie will end it.
And Joke got to get to the 14-yard line to maybe seal the ball game. And Dickerson will get the 1st down and more and lay down.
Oh. And look at it. Joke knows it's over with that 1st down. Drainie's going to be able to go ahead into victory formation, bend the knee, and look at him.
Drainie, you just won a $35,000 game of Madden. 75 for the tournament. You're in the club championship finals. How much does this mean to you?
I mean, this means the world, man. This is the one tournament, I really haven't been placing that well in.
Yeah.
My best placing in this tournament before this was Final 16. So, I'm happy to, get over that hump, and the job's not done.
The other final, the Cardinals Volteracs took on the Packers Skim Bow.
What does Skimen have to do to overcome this defense of Volterax?
You know, he's going to have to put together a drive on his opening drive. He cannot turn the ball over. If he turns the ball over early in the game, it could get away from him very, very quickly. But one thing I worry about for Skimen, we've seen that 31st against the run, and Volterax, he's only going to run the ball. He has -4 passing yards on the tournament.
That's crazy.
And, you know, he's not going to gain any today. So if you're Skimen, you got to find a way to stop the run. He didn't look very good against the run yesterday. He kind of bailed himself out with that Deion Sanders pick 6 against Techers. So, and Volterax is not going to make that mistake. He's going to hand the ball off. Are you going to be able to stop him?
Here we go. Predictably here, the look is the run. Johnson already bursting through, and he's to the 30, to the 20. What a start! Volterax swinging the axe. Touchdown right away.
And he went untouched. Skimen could have made the tackle with his user, just missed him, and that's a really, really bad start to this game if you're Skimen.
On Skimen's first possession, he drives all the way into the red zone behind Lamar Jackson.
Here's some magic. It's Lamar Jackson to tie it up with an extra point.
As the third began with Volterax leading 10-7, he steps up his tournament-leading defense, forcing Skimen into a 3-and-out, and goes back to the same play call that's helped him get this far.
Johnson, green grass. Johnson to the house. Touchdown, Volterax.
Skimen's next possession stalls at midfield when he's faced with a 4th-and-long.
Tackle supreme on Palomalu, and Reed can get on the field. Khalil Mack, and there's another smack. And on goes Volterax. He'll be in the title game.
The final of the Madden NFL 20 Club Championship presented by Snickers is next. Drainie and Volterax play for $100 grand. Welcome back to the Madden NFL 20 Club Championship presented by Snickers. The championship game is finally here. It's Volterax, the 22-year-old without a Madden belt, against Drainie, who, with a victory, ties Skim Bow as the all-time leader in belts, and at 20, would become the all-time money leader.
This is a tournament, RG. It's been weeks, months in the making. You mentioned it, 75,000 competitors whittled down to these last two. How excited are you, man?
Oh, this is, like Scott said before, this is our Christmas. This is what we wait for all year long, and that's what those two competitors up there wait for all year long. Anytime you have a chance to make $100,000 in a day playing John Madden football, it's a good day. Today is a good day.
Yeah, how about winning 75K no matter what? You know, these guys are both going to be taking away minimum 75K, so I think that says a lot. I think these guys are really just playing for that championship belt. You know, they want to be submitted as the best Madden player. That means a lot to us Madden players. I know it sounds silly to some people out there, but this is what we dream of. You know what I mean? We dream of winning a Madden tournament, everybody considering us the best. You know, there's a little ego that goes involved in it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what these guys are, the two best in the game right now.
Volterax said earlier in the tournament, he said, I know every defensive front out there, and I know every run that'll work against that front. Drainie knows every offensive run formation and how to stop it, so something's going to have to give. We kick it away here in Pizza Hut Stadium. It is the final. And Volterax, the mad scientist, will start with it first.
On Volterax's opening possession, Chris Johnson takes over.
So we went from 128 players down to just 2. Hands it off to Chris Johnson. He'll weave his way through, untouched. And the man from East Carolina, Chris Johnson, they won't catch him.
And that's what I'm talking about. He's so slow and methodical. I know it looks crazy. He's just running the ball with Chris Johnson, but he's always going to be able to find that hole, and that's exactly what happened right there.
Chris Johnson continued to be the workhorse for Volterax. Drainie, one of the best run defenders in the championship series, had no answer.
It almost feels like the man versus the machine. So 2nd and 10 now at the 41-yard line. And that's where he'll go and makes the first man miss.
Oh!
And he might be out. Jerome Baker won't catch him. And Troy Polamalu's way behind as well. And Volterax strikes twice. As we're getting close to the holidays, one of these guys is going to put $100 grand in their bank account. Rivers fires it outside. That's John Ross, the speedster. and Tillman will chase him down.
That's a couple pass plays in a row where he's kept Phillip Rivers clean in the pocket and been able to air it out with some success.
And he'll hand it off here on 3rd down. Eric Dickerson picks up the 1st down. He can't get past Pat Tillman as he cuts him down at the 17. 1:25 to go in the half. He's got 2 timeouts remaining.
Gonna go to the jet pass again, the jet touch pass.
Better hurry up. He's running out of time on that play clock.
And John Ross will get it. He'll get to the edge. And John Ross is in. Drainie brings it back.
In what was perhaps the play of the tournament, Johnson breaks free again for Volterax.
It'd be a long one from there. It'd be 61 yards. And he'll hand it off one more time. Little stop and go. Little spin to the other way. And Chris Johnson.
No way.
No way. He's got to get it. Volterax with maybe the craziest run I've ever seen.
Oh my goodness. Did you guys just see him take 2 steps back after he got the ball and just kind of wait there? Left for his lineman to get up the field for the blocks. That was disgusting.
After Drainie forces a punt on Volterax's opening possession of the 4th quarter, Drainie goes to the air on 1st down.
We're going to have ourselves a very interesting ball game at the end of this 4th quarter.
Still got a ways to go in the season, and it's a turnover. The legend, Woodson, comes up with the pick. And just like that, Volterax has the ball again.
It would be the first belt for Volterax.
Oh, man, you just got to be happy for this guy, Volterax. It's been a long time coming. He puts everything he has into playing John Madden football and doing it on the highest level. And now he's going to have the solidification of being a champion, and no one's going to ever be able to take this away from Michael Bryant.
Well, you can see the respect between our 2 competitors. Drainie knows he's outmatched, but there is your champ. Volterax has done it. We see a smile, and he wins his first belt by a score of 28-13. And really, the entire tournament was never in question.
Congratulations, Volterax. You are the brand new Madden 20 NFL Club champion. Let's give him one more round of applause from the studio audience, guys. You know, Volt, this is such a huge accomplishment, and for someone 22 years old to have done this is remarkable. How in your own words, does this make you feel, knowing what you've just done?
This is amazing. I mean, I've been playing Madden now since Madden 16, and I've never made a deep run in the tournament, and this is the first time, and I'm just glad I could come out with the championship.
You got a couple plays that made us go a little crazy over here. One in particular, I want you to walk me through this.
Oh, yeah, so I've actually labbed up a run for 3 deep.
I mean, what?
Right there, yeah.
Like, you labbed that up? That was all practice?
Yeah, I've ran this for my friends whenever they come out in 3 deep at the end of half, and it doesn't work all the time, but it definitely works some of the time. I've gotten a few of those before.
Drainie looks like he cannot believe that actually worked. He's like, that did not happen to me in a tournament. Guys, let's give one more round of applause for our Madden NFL 20 Club Championship champion, Volterax.